Today we're going to be talking about a really valuable part of your brand toolkit, and we're going to talk about creating your own brand style guide and why it's so important. And if you stick around till the end, I'm also going to be sharing how creating a brand style guide can actually set the foundations for growth in your business. Plus, I'm also going to walk you through my own brand style guide template that I create in Canva, and I might even be giving it away. So grab your glass of wine and let's do this. Or, a cup of coffee if it's early in the day. Or actually, if you want to drink wine early in the day, go for it. I'm not your dad. A brand style guide essentially acts as a blueprint for your brand identity. And brand style guides or brand guideline documents can be a work of art themselves. Designers and agencies sometimes spend weeks just creating the brand guidelines themselves, and with good reason. Not only do they become a bit of a showcase for the brand, but there are some really important benefits to having brand guidelines. First of all, by establishing clear guidelines for your brand's visual identity, for your typography, your fonts, your colors, the use of layout, imagery, you immediately build brand consistency and build brand recognition, which, as we've talked about before, leads to trust and builds loyalty. And having clearly defined guidelines also removes any guesswork and makes your marketing efforts so much easier. You don't have to start from scratch every time you need to create a new product template or a new advert or a new presentation. You're working with elements that are predefined. That means you can stay consistent, but also that you can create those things quickly and easily. And of course, a brand style guide usually goes beyond just your visual guidelines. Often they include an overview of your purpose, of your mission, your values, and even other important bits of your brand identity and brand tone of voice that helps you stay consistent, but more importantly, helps you to communicate your message more powerfully, which immediately builds recognition, but also makes you stand out in your marketplace because people start to recognize your message immediately. But for me, the main benefit to having brand guidelines set up is even simpler than that. On a day-to-day basis, for entrepreneurs, it makes it easier for you to create and easier for you to market your business. And as you know, I am all about making it easier for you to run and grow your personal or business brand. However, despite how beautiful and how well put together brand guidelines are, especially for bigger brands, I do sometimes find that while they're very helpful as a reference, they're not particularly useful to be able to draw from day to day. Sometimes it's difficult to find what you need, and it's difficult to extract those elements. It's one of the reasons I encourage everyone to use the brand kits in Canva. Those brand kits allow you to immediately centralize your brand assets within Canva. And as I've said before, especially if you create other things within Canva, it immediately makes a system that's just really fluid, really streamlined, and quick to use. You can upload your logos, your fonts, your colors, even icons, images, and other graphics, so that when you're creating, just with a couple of clicks, you can access all of those tools to stay on brand and make it quicker and easier for you to create your marketing materials. Now, the brand kits are only available on a Canva Pro account, but if you are on a free account and you'd like to try out the Pro account, there is a link underneath this video in the description where you can try a 45-day trial of Canva Pro so that you can play with these features and experiment with them. I really do think it's one of the most valuable tools within Canva. But fear not, if you are on a free account, there are still a couple of things you can do. One of them is if you just search for a brand kit within Canva, you'll see it brings up loads of really beautiful one-page templates where you can drop in some of your brand elements. Now, my only issue with those is that a lot of them feel like they're designed for designers to present to someone rather than for entrepreneurs to use day to day. And I think they're missing a few elements. So I created my own brand guideline document. It's formatted in landscape so that when you see it on screen, it gives you the most real estate to use rather than as one long scrolling page like a lot of them are. And it combines loads of different elements of your brand that you are going to need to draw on in Canva. And because it's created in Canva, it means that you can literally copy and paste elements from it into other Canva designs just in a couple of clicks. So it makes it really quick and easy for you to access any of your brand assets and brand guidelines just with a couple of clicks of a mouse. So let's have a look at what I include in those guidelines. So this is the document that I created for myself in Canva to use for my and my clients' brands when I'm trying to centralize and create brand guidelines for them that's quick and easy for me to use. This is the first page of this kind of at-a-glance brand summary, and this is the one that we refer to most probably. On the left-hand side, you can see you've got your color palette. Here you can type in your headings and also type the description of the name and weight of the font if you want to. Here we've got space for your primary and secondary logos, but of course everything's editable in Canva, so you can add a third one if you want to. But at least here you've got them put into a document that you can copy and paste from quickly and easily. Because I work on a lot of sales pages within Canva, what I've also done here is set a place for us to establish button styles with the right font and color. And again, you can just select that, copy and paste it into another document rather than having to create them all the time. And it ensures consistency and makes it easy for you to pull on those. I've also included a place for icons or illustrations so that when you find those in Canva elements, instead of having to star them and then find them, you can just put them into this document and it's easy for you to then copy and paste them. The second page is a page that I use in other brand guideline documents, and it's basically just style keywords. Now, whether you have these or not, it's a good exercise for you to do and just think through the keywords, particularly visually, of your brand. Is it something that's playful and light-hearted and childlike, or is it something that's sophisticated and elegant and minimalist? Anything that will help guide yourself, but also anyone else you share this document with, to immediately give them a feel for what your brand stands for and also visually what you think your brand represents. The next page is something that I created specifically again because I use this for sales pages and websites. I've got places here for you to put in images of you for your biography or for your about section. And then I've got a short block of text here where you can paste in your up-to-date biography or about paragraphs. And then on the right-hand side, I've got a section that's got features or a contents list, which can be the parts of your coaching package or the parts of your course, or even the parts of your process for designing something or creating something for someone. And it's just helpful to have those to refer to quickly and easily so that if anyone asks you what your process is, you have them here immediately. The next page I've just left for a screen grab of your product or something that you can create to bring it to life. Again, this comes from my sales pages. It helps to have something that you put into a mock-up or into a screen so that it feels real for people, so that anytime you need to showcase your product, you can then copy and paste from here into that. The next page is where you can put your top testimonials and any other snippets of copy that you use regularly. At the bottom here, you could put your boilerplate, which could be your 3 or 4 sentences that says who your company is and what it does. Or it could be 3 separate descriptions of your different services that you offer. And of course, testimonials are always important because social proof is absolutely key to making people trust and feel comfortable with your brand and your products. So putting in your top 3 testimonials here means you've always got them to draw on and you don't have to go and search through emails and other places where we all tend to lose testimonials. The next page is just where you can drop in images from Canva or other image libraries so you can copy and paste them into other documents, and you can also see them on one page and make sure that they are consistent and they do feel like they all work together as a gallery of images. The next page is for Canva elements. If you do find ones that you like and that fit with your brand, you don't want to have to go and search for them again. But you could always rename this page and just change it to product images or anything else, just so that you have them in one consistent place and you can easily access them whenever you need them. Then I've added a couple of pages in which move away from the visual identity and talk more about your brand mission and purpose, what you stand for. And then the next and last page is just a page where you can add in your brand values, because as I've talked about before, what your brand stands for is becoming more and more important to the people who buy from you. And this can really help with copy, but also with creating visuals or finding images. So that's it. And if I do this for my clients when I'm working with them, it just means I have access to everything I need and I can easily and quickly draw on that whenever I need to, which is absolutely essential when you're trying to stay consistent and build trust with an audience. So if that document looks like something that would be of use to you and would be useful day to day in your business to streamline your branding efforts, well, I've got good news for you. I have made that exact template downloadable for free for you. If you go to the link that's on the screen right now or in the description below this video, you can actually get access to that template in Canva, and you can just replace the placeholders with your own assets, and you can expand it or remove pages, whatever works for you, to make it a useful working document day to day, and you have your own brand style guide that you can set up within minutes in Canva. Now, earlier on in the video, I mentioned that there is kind of a bonus benefit to having brand guidelines set up like this. And for me, this is a really key benefit. What it does is empowers you to grow. It empowers you to share your brand vision, your brand style, with partners, with team members, and it means that whether you're employing someone full-time or outsourcing just one job, you can actually make sure that everyone is up to speed really quickly. It stops the back and forth and long periods of onboarding, getting people familiar and trying to show them where all your assets are, which means that when you're in a position to grow, you can grow quickly and efficiently, and it doesn't take a lot of time onboarding and getting people up to speed. It really is key in making sure that everyone can represent your brand as well as you do. So whether you're a small business or a personal brand or a huge company, investing the time and money in a brand style guide really is crucial for the success of your brand, especially as it grows. It sets the foundation for a brand that is instantly recognizable and that stands out in your marketplace and really showcases how unique you are. If this video was helpful today, folks, please don't forget to download the free template. The link is in the description below this video, and please hit like and subscribe. It really makes a difference, and if it was helpful, drop a comment and let me know, because it boosts the engagement on the video and helps me fight the dreaded algorithm. So thank you very much again for being here. Have a fabulous week, and I will see you soon.